Welcome to my channel, Endless Roads. This is Hot Cup of Joe coming to you from the Philippines. Let's talk about dating. Now, if you're an older, more experienced person, you might be out of the dating scene for some time. Maybe divorced, or you're late in life, become a widow. Or you may was one of these average guys in their 30s or 40s in America. Most likely you weren't getting any hits on those dating apps. Nobody was swiping right on you, which is common there in America. Dating in the Philippines is a whole different game than the games that you are dealing with. You may have questions. What is the proper thing to do or say? What is the time or how long should I wait to take the next step? Well, let's get into it. First of all, if you're new to my channel, welcome. I'll be honored if you would subscribe and leave a like. If you are a returning watcher, I'd like to hear your thoughts and your stories about your first time dating here in the Philippines. Sometimes the same things always hold true, like the 7 signs a girl's into you, or the 6 signs she's not into you. You might be saying to yourself, why does this guy think that he has the answers to the dating in the Philippines? Well, not all Filipinos are the same. That is right. But now, I have been down this road before. Hell, I wore a pass on it. If I showed you my Facebook account, you'll probably see about 6,000 different conversations with ladies, and I took quite a few of those out. Now, I have covered already the secrets on how to find a date here in the Philippines and courting, but I would say it must have been a pretty good video, because there's 6 YouTubers out there that's very well known, and they recorded my video word for word from the beginning to the end. So it must have been pretty good advice. I may do another one later. We'll see about that. First of all, if you have been watching this old tired videos out there, 5-10 years ago from a lot of these YouTubers about dating, forget it. That's all in the past. You won't find girls today in America the same as you did 10 years ago, 5 years ago in America. Things changed. This is 2025 now. And most of the girls here, their attitude and outlook in life has changed since the pandemic. Okay, let's say you zero in on a girl you like. What's the next step? I see many guys go overboard here. I actually was one of those. I tried to act like I was a super rich Donald Trump, Elon Musk guy. I find the top restaurant. I dropped $600 on the dinner, just find out later she's married and had a few kids, living with her mother-in-law. But finding a place that's quiet and listen. What I'm trying to say is, instead of dropping all that cash on your first date and you don't know what's going to happen, just like in America, you spend all that money and then you find out she's not the person for you. It'd be better if you just find a cheap place, be quiet, and listen to what she has to say. Let her talk. Don't make it a question and answer game, but listen closely, because she will be lying to you. All Filipinos will lie to you. Heck, most girls will lie to you. Some guys will lie to girls too. But it's not that, they are trying to deceive you, but, they might be shy about where they live, or their life circumstances, what their job are. But then again, it could be. And then you can use this later to bring it back to her to find out, what type of personality she has. I would go to the coffee project. That's where I like to hang out at and play place that's, or any place like that would actually work, you know, like Coffee Tea Bean, you know, Tea and Me, any of those coffee shops, or even a small cafe where there ain't a lot of people. There's a good chance, you know, she's going to bring her friends or her family. I have not yet went on a date here before I got married that somebody didn't show up on the first date. And it usually was 1, 2, 3 people, and or it was their mother or their sister. So it's a little hard to get to know them on the first date. Just sit back and listen. So until you know she's the right one, I would say just don't waste any money on a big dinner for her. Now I'll tell you about my first date and what made me decide on my wife. First date, I met her online. We chat for a month. I met her at the coffee shop. She texted me saying she wants to meet me, but she was late. But well, actually, I guess I should go back a little bit to my first date. My first date, the lady told me that she was at the coffee shop, so I showed up there. And she sent me another text that says, hello. I said, would you like some sugar or coffee for your coffee? You know, sugar or cream for your coffee? She pointed at my phone and so I looked at her and said, okay, I'm going to get it. She points at my phone. I look at another message. I look at her and say, can't you speak any English? She points at the phone again and says, we can just text here. So I found out that the lady didn't have a word of English. She never disclosed this to me. I chatted with her for 3 months on the date site that I met her on. Out there, I just got up and I walked out of the place. And next date I go on, I meet another lady, sweet looking lady, nice looking. And it's a mid-range restaurant, you know. It's going to cost me only $1,000 per plate, not the $600 like I had on the first one. But she shows up with her 2 sons, a daughter, her daughter's husband, and their 3 children for dinner. So just keep it cheap. That way you won't be wasting your money trying to impress somebody that just trying to get her family fed. So let's say you got to the restaurant and it's only her, and now you're wondering, what should we talk about? The best thing to do is just keep it very light at first, you know. And no, she's not like girls in the West. They're not going to open up and talk to you about themselves at the beginning. Later, after you know them, well, then the talking will probably never stop. Secondly, the Philippines is all about their phones. That's all the chicks here, they think about is their phone. So when they pull it out a lot and you're trying to change the topic, she keeps looking at it. They ask about her phone, you know, just mention, oh, what type of phone is that, how many cameras you got, you know, something like that. But then again, if she does not respond back and, you know, just gives you a head nod or, yes or no, I would move on, because she's definitely not into you, because she's looking for a way out. But if you got into the small talk already and you want to take it to the next step, you might want to get out of the restaurant. And I did with my wife was I asked her if there was a park nearby, a nice park. And she said, sure, why? You know, and I said, well, maybe we can get a selfie. This way, if she was with her sister, maybe I can get a little farther off from her sister. There's also the movies you can take her to, too. Yeah, because, you know, here in the Philippines, there's not a lot of choices. There's a lot more choices if you're in the city. If you're out in the country, you know, there ain't much choices. It's pretty much, if you're in the province, you ain't going to see a movie theater or something like that. Maybe the beach, but movies is a good thing. But I'm going to say that before you actually left the restaurant, you should have tried to, take the first step and touch her. Now, I don't mean some groping or something like that, but say like you're in a conversation and you want to make a point. You reach out and you touch her hand. These are signals that will show back to you if she's into you or not. If she pulls her hand back, maybe she's leery of you, she's uncomfortable with you. But if she don't pull her hand back, that means that she's comfortable with you. Next thing you do, might be talking and comment on her hair or something, touch her hair. If she pulls her head back, there's another sign that she's not into you. And if you take her to the movies afterwards, the old, oh, I'm stretching my arm out and I drop it around her shoulders. And if she leans into you, you know that the date is going good and you can proceed. If she pulls back from you or if she leans forward, then she's still not into you yet. Now, let's say if you went to the park and you're walking with her, this is time that you should actually be taking her hand. Because if you have ever been in the Philippines, if you haven't, I'll let you now know, if you watch this video, every man is holding his girlfriend's hand. Heck, most girls are holding their best friend's hand. So by taking her hand, it will tell you if she pulls away or if she don't hold it. That probably means that it's time during the date to move on. If she doesn't, then this is where you can make your next move. Now the date is over. What are you going to do next? Your place, her place, or do you both go your own place? Do you try to kiss her, or just a simple hug, or say, "So sad, bye-bye" way? Well, again, it depends on a lot. The girls here is progressive. Since the old tired videos I was talking about, did you have a spicy talk before you had a messenger? When you were on the messenger, you chatting? Because if you did, it all depends on how fast you can move. I see a lot of ladies put away their values when they're dating a foreigner, that they would be more conservative to the Filipinos. Also, the age of the lady will make a big difference if she was in a relationship before. From the cities and the country too, as ladies outside are more conservative. So now after all that, the only thing left is the romance, right? What about sex on the first date? These days are different than those on the videos of yesterday, or yesteryear you want to talk about. Girls here are more modern and open. But age and experience in sexual relationships will make a difference. Out of my first 20 dates, 13 were willing to go the distance on the first date. But if you're dealing with a girl that's in her, say, 30s, she's going to be more interested in you than doing the deed on the first date than the lady that's 18. Now, the girls, like I say, never been kissed, they're going to be a little bit 2, 3, 4 dates down the road. Now, I want to add this in here too. For y'all guys coming here, because I had a couple of friends who just went crazy here and they didn't worry about protection. Now, if you don't know how many lovers that lady has. She could have a chain 5 miles long with every link being a lover on it, and you don't know what those guys had or who they've been with. So until you know that girl a little bit better, I would suggest you make sure before you do anything that you have protection. Here's some signs that say things ain't working right. And this has happened to me too. Right after dinner or during sometime during the time that you're in the park, the movies, and she gets a phone call, you're taking her home, and all of a sudden she says she's got a phone call. She's got a sick daughter. Her mother is not well and she needs to go home and take care of it. She's trying to find a way to get out of that date. And if then you call her back and she don't answer, she ghosts you, that's because she's not really into you. Now, this is what happened to me on first date. I thought everything went fine, and I was going to take her back to my hotel room. All of a sudden, she got a message saying that her daughter was sick, right? So I showed up there, and I said, okay, you know, your daughter's sick, I understand that. Next day, daughter's sick again. Third day, daughter's sick. So I got on the fourth date. Afterwards, she said her daughter was sick. She left. I followed her. She ended up at a hotel with a guy from Malaysia. So, yeah, just giving you a heads up there. Now, we're going to start wrapping this up here. So, it all depends on what are you looking for when you get here. If you're just looking for pleasure, most of this stuff don't matter anyway, because you're just looking for a exotic experience, and then you're going to move on anyway. But if you're looking for a life partner, I would say if that lady's willing to jump in bed with you the first date, she most likely has already done that with some other guys, and she might just do that for the next guy that comes around and sends her a message. You might want a girl that is a little bit more conservative and plays a hard-to-get game. Now, some of these girls here, they try to play the game a little bit too long, and I let them know that right off the bat. I said, okay, you know, it's been a week, 2 weeks, maybe a month, and you're still playing hard to get? Well, I'm moving on. Well, like all my videos, I say do your research, and you have calm waters in your dating. Well, I'm going to back on out here now. This video is getting a little long. And it's New Year's Day, so it's after the, you know, as you can see in my video here, a lot of the kids are out. They'll be going back tomorrow. I'm thinking about doing a section on conservative girls here. Are they really conservative anymore? Anyway, if you like my video, like I said before, like and subscribe. And I hope you keep watching my videos.